Good morning, my dear students. How are you doing? How's your studies going on? Surely you all are going great with your Google classes. Let's start our today's lesson on Unit 1 of your textbook. The poem The Newcomer by Brian Patton. In today's lesson you will learn what is paraphrasing, how to do it, and we will also do paraphrasing of first and second stanzas of the poem. In our previous lecture we learnt that what is poetry? Poetry is a language of imagination and passion. To understand the language of poets you should know some important poetry terms, like stanzas, lines, refrain. A line in a poem stands for a word or row of words that may or may not make up a complete sentence. Stanza. Stanza, a group of words that may or may not make up a complete sentence. Stanzas are separated by a space. Refrain. A refrain is a phrase, line or stanza that is repeated throughout the poem. Some more basic literary terms to know are rhyme and rhyming scheme. Rhyme having similar sounds typically at the end of the verses or lines of poetry. Rhyming scheme is a pattern of rhymes used in a poem. Dear students, you already know who is a poet? Yes. The poet is the author of the poem. But who is speaker, then? Every poem has a speaker, or voice, that talks to the reader. Speaker of the poem is not necessarily the poet. The speaker can be a fictional person, an animal, or even a living thing. Persona, the Latin word persona, which means the mask of an actor, is a specific person the poet wants to present as his mouthpiece. Voice, way of speaking. The voice in the poem can be the voice of the poet, voice of an imaginary person, voice of a personified object. Tone, the tone of a poem is the attitude you feel in it, the writer's attitude toward the subject or audience. Dear students, there is a topic of paraphrasing of the poems in your syllabus. You will be tested for it, how to do the paraphrasing of the poems. So, it is very important to learn the skill of paraphrasing. Let me ask you a simple question. Do you know what is paraphrasing? Let's find out the answer. Paraphrasing is presenting ideas and information in your own words. We can say it is a restatement or rewording of a paragraph or text in order to borrow, clarify, or expand on information without copying the original text. And why we do paraphrasing? Because it gives us deeper understanding of the topic and reflects our critical thinking. There are 4 very easy and simple steps to do paraphrasing. Step 1, put the text in your words. Second step, avoid copying original text. Third, rearrange similar text. Fourth, include all important points.
Keeping the 4 basic rules in mind. Now we apply them to the stanzas of the poem, The Newcomer. I am going to teach you how to do paraphrasing of the first and the second stanza of the poem. Listen it carefully, as for the next 3 stanzas, you will be writing, paraphrasing on your own. Stanza 1. There's something new in the river. The fish said as it swam. It's got no scales, no fins and no gills, and ignores the impassable dam. The lines in this stanza are very simple. Now listen. Explanation of the first 2 lines. The fish sees something new in the water, a new creature, it has never seen before. It is an object that is foreign to it, something not naturally seen in the river. Now read next two lines, 3 and 4. No scales, no fins and no gills. And ignores the impassable dam. We can say, the new creature doesn't look like the other things that live in the water, like fish, having scales, fins, and gills. This new creature is unafraid of the dam. It can easily crosses the dam.
Let's write lines of the stanza in simple words. Means paraphrasing. The fish sees something in the water it has never seen before. It is an object that is foreign to it, something not naturally seen in the river. It doesn't look like the other things that live in the water, and it is unafraid of the dam.
Second stanza of the poem. There's something new in the trees. I heard a bloated thrush sing. It's got no beak, no claws, and no feathers. And not even the ghost of a wing. Now, I explain above the lines of the stanza. As the fish sees new creature in the rive. Same, a new stranger is also seen by the singing bird thrush in the trees. It immediately warns the other birds of it. It's an object which has no beaks, no claws and no feathers. It even doesn't have the slightest trace of such faculties like birds.
Here is how we paraphrasing of second stanza. Some new monstrous stranger is seen by the singing bird thrush in the trees. It immediately warns the other birds of it. It an object which has no beaks, no claws and no feathers. It even doesn't have the slightest trace of such faculties like birds.
My dear students, I hope you understood first two stanzas and their paraphrasing very well. In case of any confusion, you are welcome to discuss the topic with me, your English literature teacher. Here is the recap of today's tutorial. We have learned parts of a poem, some basic important literary terms and paraphrasing of the first two stanzas of the poem. Dear students, you will write paraphrasing of first two stanzas in your notebooks. You are also going to solve a worksheet based on today's topic. With this I conclude today's lecture. I will catch you again with another interesting topic in our next class. Till then, take good care of yourself. Stay healthy, stay happy. Allah Hafiz.